The film industry as we know it is evolving. We've been witnessing the slow transformation of the movie making business model since the rise of streaming platforms back in 2007. Over that time period, streaming platforms have multiplied almost tenfold. You have specialized streaming platforms for all types of movies, and audiences have now been conditioned to Netflix and chill. Yet filmmakers are making less money now than they did 20 years ago. Clearly, something has to give. I'm Georgia Sheshimwa, and I'm the founder of Hollyworld and the six-figure film launch agency. My goal is pretty simple. My team and I are looking to partner with film owners to generate six-figure digital film launches for their movies in less than 6 months. Now, audiences around the world are growing tired of the Hollywood business model of just these big generic movies that are watered down to appeal to everyone. They're starving for new original movies with authentic themes and not just propaganda. And that's where you and I come in. While there are hundreds of options for streaming platforms, with literally thousands of movies to stream from, it's made it extremely difficult for filmmakers to stand out and make money. And it's also been extremely hard for audiences to really connect with movies like we did 30, 40, even 50 years ago. But the opportunity is here to change all of that. And the future is bright for filmmakers who are looking to connect directly with audiences and bypass the Hollywood gatekeepers. My service, the Hollyworld Film Launch, will help you do just that. So, in this video, I'm going to go over the Hollyworld Film Launch Blueprint. It's the sequence of strategies that my team and I use to help you create a 6, 7, or even 8-figure digital film launch for your movie. This service will put your movie in front of audiences around the world and boost your downstream revenue on all platforms that your movie is currently streaming on or will stream on in the future. And it all begins with the first step in our program, the good film test. Check it out. So, here I'm going to talk to you about, here I'm going to show you how to proceed with the good film test. Now, as I mentioned before, the good film test is the foundational strategy that I recommend every filmmaker who's going ahead and going to launch their film to do this process. Because what this process, what the good film test will help you do is really identify your target market and a test to see how your target market likes your film. And it really just shows you and gives you a better, clearer idea of what you can expect when you go ahead and do the other launches, the Hollyworld launch or the Hollyworld Network launch. All right. So the first thing you want to really do is focus on who your market is. Who's your ideal audience? Who's the audience that's going to really respond? Because as I said before, and I'll say throughout this process, it's all about niche appeal. So you want to know how which audience is going to like your film and how can you connect to them, because throughout this whole process you're going to be marketing your teasers, your trailers, the interviews, everything that you're doing is based towards an audience really knowing what you want to know, the messages you want to put out there, but you also want to know what your audience is responding to. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to build a lead magnet. Lead magnets are simply anything it's an offering that you give to audiences out there, and you get in return their email address or their phone numbers or anything that you get their information, because you want to build up a list. Email lists preferably, contact information, because this is how you build your kingdom, So a typical lead magnet, one that I get from my clients would be a web registration, right? So let's say you do a trailer or you do some type of interview or something like that, or some webinar function where you say, hey, we giving out this, there's a new film going on, book a reservation to find out more about it. They give you they give you their information. And they set a time, and you really get to know, how everything goes from there. They really get to know more about your film and the experience that you can provide to them. Because again, it's all about the experience. So some ways to get people to build leads and to get them even onto your list is using Facebook ads. You can do a podcast. You can go on to other people's podcasts. Anything you can do to build awareness about your new film and go to audiences and get them to, commit towards following you on this journey of watching your film, right? So, like I said, you can do some ads. You can do podcasts. You can do YouTube ads. You can do content marketing like Instagram or blogging, and anything that you can do to really get these audiences to know about you, to get the word out, really just to follow you. Because what you really want to do is you want to attract their attention, get them on the email list, right? So you can contact them. These are going to be your prospects, right? These are going to be the prospects. These are going to be potential customers, potential people who are going to buy from you. Not only now, but ideally, they'll get to know you and build a relationship with you. And whenever you want to build films and whenever you want to make films and do more launches and do other things, you have an audience that is going to grow with you, right? So that's foundational. You understand that we're going to start with hypothesis. You're guessing, I have this horror film and I know these are the type of people I think these are the type of people that are going to like this film. So you start creating ads for them, or you start creating these podcasts that that they listen to, or places that they go to. So you can get them, you put the word out so they can log in, they can do a lead magnet, they can follow your lead magnet, which I would say, this one example is a webinar registration. All right? Where they get ready for a small event where they just, maybe you show them a teaser, you show them behind the scenes of how you came up with your project, and so they'll give you the information just so you can contact them so they can know a little bit more about what's going on with your process. I'm putting now the numbers that I'm going to put up there because there's possibilities. You can do this for a small budget film, or you can do this for a larger budget film. These things are going to be really instrumental to understanding the type of money that you can make from your launches, right? So the hypothetical number that we're using here is, let's say you build a list all the way up to 5,000 prospects, right? So following the Hollywood sales sequence that I showed you in the last process, where you do the teaser, trailer, launch, it's kind of like you can do, example here, at least with your GFT launch, it's that event, that thing that they're registering for, it's going to be, let's say it's a Q&A. So you're talking to people, hey, I want to show you guys a teaser for my new upcoming film, and so they register, and then they get to see, in that registration, in that webinar event, they speak to you or any key member, maybe the actor, maybe a screenwriter, some person who has a good following, or somebody who's really dedicated, maybe even the producer. Somebody's really dedicated to telling the story and showing it out with the audience, right? So they're going to go into that event. You put them into the sequence, right? So let's say with a good film test is a little bit different. You don't have to go streamlining it and doing it just like the way I taught you in the last video. That's more for something like the Hollywood launch. But for this one, because it's beginning, you're really just starting, you're really just testing the market out. You can do just that one Q&A. You can do just that one Q&A and get that sales sequence going, and get people to really just begin to get a taste for what the experience that you're going to provide for them, right? So let's say that's 1 and 2. You do maybe the Q&A, then you do the second part of your good film test sequence. You do another one. These are all free, right? These are all things that you're just doing to build the market, just to test the market, see how people respond to it. Maybe you get, of this 5,000, you get 1,000 people, to test out, to see your teaser, to see the teaser. Then you get, let's say you add in another additional, people liked it, people really are feeling it. Now you get 2,500 people do the teaser. To look at the trailer. And all the while you're still directing audiences from these lists. You're directing audiences from your podcast, from your ads, from your emails. And they're going towards these trailers and they're seeing your events. They're seeing, they're experiencing, and ideally they're telling other people, hey, look, there's this pretty interesting movie that's coming out, and we saw the teaser, and it looks pretty good, and you can check it out. So you're building word of mouth. You're building some buzz, right? So what happens is you give them the teaser, trailer, and then what you're offering to them, at least in the beginning, is, hey, we're going to do this live event. We really want to know what our market thinks about this film, because we want to do a Hollywood launch. We want to do a bigger launch, but it's going to be a special, intimate gathering where we can watch this film right now. And so you offer, so that process, let's say you charge, there's a study, people are willing right now, I just read this a couple of days ago, and I've also been seeing it, that people are willing to pay all the way up to $15 just to stay at home and watch a movie, instead of going into the movie theaters. They say that's for the highest blockbusters. I think for horror movies it's like $11, and romance and drama and suspense and other things of that nature is like $12. So let's say you charge $12, all right, for this experience. You can do a lot higher. You can do a lot lower. All of this is a test, right? So let's say you do that test, $12 to follow along in this experience and to watch your film with you, maybe ask some questions and learn more about your process, right? And you get somewhere around 800 people to experience that with you. Again, all of this is testing. That's why it's a good film test. Let's say you were able to do that. You were able to get 800 people to watch your event. What happens is these people who bought, right, they now move into your buyers list. So you're going to have an email list, a prospect list of somewhere around 5,000. Then you also have a buyers list now, 800 people. The beautiful thing about buyers list is buyers tend to want to buy more. They'll be the easiest people to buy from you again and again and again. Not only will they buy from you, they'll tell others about you, tell others about your process. So it's a very important thing. You've gone from 5,000 prospects of people who might be interested in what you want to do to now 800 people do you know for sure like your process, and they do it well. You do it well, they'll go ahead and tell more people about you. So now you got the 800 people, and they're going and they're watching. They're doing this viewing session with you. So let's do the math here. Top of my head, I'm not the biggest math guy. Top of my head, so I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat here. We'll do, and I'm pretty sure you already, as I'm doing this, you probably already know it on top of your head, but let's say you make $9,600 from this one event. It's decent money. It's pretty good, Just to test out your market, you make $9,600. Now again, these are not guarantees. These are not, claims that you're gonna make this. This is just more about what could happen. Okay? All right, here we go again. So let's say you get the 800, you get around 800, you have a pretty successful, good film test, Hollywood sales sequence, right? And you're able to get 800 people to show up. And what they show up to is that 800 comes up to about, for $12 a ticket, $9,600, right? Which is really good, especially for just a test, just to see if your film is able to, or has the legs and has what it takes to really blow up, right? So you get around 800 people. That's a good niche. So what happens is what you're selling to these people with the experience, which is the digital theater experience that you're going to be offering these people. It's unique because what in this one, the GFT, which it's different because in these process, what you're doing is, let's say you're going to have 3 live events, right? And for each event, there's somewhere around 300 seats that are available. So in this sequence, I said 800. Maybe it's 900, but maybe it's not all of the 900 people show up. So anyway, you just have 300 seats available, and through the viewing. So what happens is, typically, another thing to keep in mind, as I just thought about this, is usually ideally what you want to do in the beginning, especially in the seat launch, is you want to find the people who are really eager, who are really interested in things like this. That's why it's very important to, with your ads, with your targeting, everything you're doing right now in the beginning is really just testing and finding out who really likes your film and how good is this film, how do people really respond to it. Because what you're going to be doing in these viewing sessions is not only will people come in and view it, you want to do, even let's say you have the 300 seats, you want to get at least 100 people, 50 people out of each one of these viewings to go ahead and stay along with you and to give you their feedback. You want to do surveys, you want to ask questions, you want to talk about the marketing, you want to talk about the teasers that you did, you want to talk about the trailers, and get feedback, get a really good understanding, because you want to understand the psychology of the market that's watching your film. All this is very instrumental because you'll be using this in your Hollywood launch, in your network launch, all these things, because by the time you get there, you'll know who you're messing with, you know what you're dealing with, you know the market that you're going after, and you can kind of expect, you kind of see you have better expectations and more qualified expectations. So, yeah, in this viewing, you watch the film, and then you hold it. You get around 50 people to complete the surveys for each one. Not only are they completing the surveys, you're filming this process. You're keeping a record of this process, right? And so with that, you're using that as content for your next thing. You're getting case studies. You're getting word of mouth, social proof that people experience this event. That's why I said the buyers are very important, because now you're getting people they've seen your film, they can vouch for your film, they're telling other people about your film, right? And this is all you're getting content, and now you know your target market. So not only did you just make some good money from testing out your market, you know that you can do this on a higher scale. You can do this on a bigger scale and get, and blow it up. So I hope this was a good thing. I hope you were able to understand this and see the opportunity here. The good film test, even if you just do this by itself, it's foundational because it teaches you about your market, it shows you the process, and it gets people to understand this experience. Now, the beauty of it is, if this good film test goes well, and you know you have something, you may not even want to go ahead and do a launch like a Hollywood launch or a network launch. You can use the information that you gather just from this to go to a distributor, to go to a licensor, to go to other venues and say, hey, we know we have a good film that people really like. We've made this amount of money. And you can sell your film. You can make more money from that. You can make good money. You can start licensing. You can start doing other deals and really blow it up. So you don't even have to go to the next level and do a Hollywood launch or a network launch. This is a beautiful process. It's a great way to make money, especially in this day and age, because what you're selling is not only a great film, but a great experience.
And that was a good film test, or GFT for short. Now, this process is a great way to dip your toes in the water and get a feel for the temperature of the market before we really dive in with the Hollywood film launch. You get to test the market, make some money, and begin building a relationship with your audience. It also brings clarity on our expectations for a wider launch. Now, my team and I works with you to complete this program in 90 days, which in turn prepares us for our 6-figure launch, or should I say, the Hollywood film launch. That's our next topic.
All right, so what I'm going to talk to you about now is the second phase or second type of launch that you can do to really provide a really great digital theater experience and move your business to the next level, move your film business to the next level. I call this one the Hollyworld launch. And as you recall from the previous post, this one is more of a transformative type of launch because you've already identified your target market. You've already determined, that your content, that this experience is something that's good, that's something that people want, and that your niche wants. Because again, niche appeal is key. So you've taken care of these bases, right? And now you're at this point where you want to go ahead and launch this film, premiere it, and give people a really good experience while they consume your film. And so the Hollyworld launch helps you do just that. I would consider this one more of a classic type of launch experience based on what I've showed you in the first video, which is, I definitely encourage you to go back to that video. If this is your first time viewing, go watch that video because that tells you really the basis of what I'm going to show you right now, which is all about teaser, trailer, launch type of experience, okay? I call it the Hollyworld sales sequence, and anyway, you learn more about that in that first video. So what I want to do here is really just expand on what happens, what the possibilities are, and what you can do. Now, again, we start off when you're getting ready for the Hollyworld launch. The same thing that you want to do with the GFT, you want to do it here, which is basically you want to get a lead magnet, an opt-in page. You want to get people to really, you can use advertising, you can use paid traffic, social media, podcasts. You can even use influencer marketing, things of that nature to get audiences that you already know that are based on your target market, people that you know will be interested in your film, people that you know are going to like what you have to offer because you've already tested this. And you get them to opt into your lead magnet. The reason I always stress the lead magnet and getting these names first is because you want to build a relationship with your prospects. Your email list is your prospects because this is a long-term play that I'm showing you here. And you want to know, okay, the people that are buying into what you have, they're not only gonna, listen to what you have now, they're gonna, the next film that you want to do, the next project that you want to make, you'll have these assets that you can always go back to. They may not buy the first film, but you can definitely get them to buy the next one or the next one or something else that you're working on. So it's very important. And you already have a basis. So going on from the GFT test, let's say you had those 800 prospects, those 800 buyers. You also had that list of 5,000. You can still use that same list and add on to that list, right? With paid traffic. And because the thing about the Hollyworld experience, the Hollyworld launch, that's different from the GFT launch, is basically you're going to be paying into this one. You know where you're going, so you want to go ahead and push money into it to blow it up. Because the more money, the more people that you can reach, the more prospects that you can have, the bigger of a niche, the more that you can reach your niche, the more money that you can have in the long term. So let's say, all the numbers I'm going to use here is hypothetical. I'm not making guarantees, but I will say everything that I've been showing you here is a process that's been used by thousands of people in so many different industries that have made literally billions of dollars. This is a process that really works, that's going to really help you. And so I definitely advise you to listen in and, take these steps carefully because you can use this, what I'm giving you right now, just to move your business to the next level. So you start with your lead magnet. You're going into your target market, you're going paid traffic, you're using social media, you're doing podcasts, you're doing influencer marketing. You get all these people to buy in. Ideally, you're using, for this lead magnets, let's say it's a webinar registration. You're showing them your teaser. You're going through the prospects. You have content now from the good film test, from all these other things that shows, hey, we're doing this, scarce, limited. We're doing this event. You put out a bit of your teaser. You want people to say, hey, take a look at the trailer, or get to know behind the scenes, or even just, hey, book your reservations because we're doing the premiere. The premiere coming soon. So they'll give you a lead. They'll give you their information, which on this lead magnet or opt-in page, and that turns into your email list. Okay. Now from that email list, you want to start directing them towards your sequence, your Hollywood sales sequence. So you'll go into, of course, the teaser, trailer sequence, where maybe you're giving them your content, you're giving them pieces of the film, or you're giving them the background of the making of the film, whatever process that you choose to use that you've identified that works for you. Whatever process that you use that identifies what works for you, and you're taking them through the sequence, right? So I'm not going to go too deep into it because I went through it before. So what happens is, now you're getting as many people as possible. So let's say with this email list that you're doing, because you've already done the work before, you go from a 5,000 prospect list to 30,000 people, right? So you have a 30,000 list, and now you're sending everyone from this group to your lead magnet. Not only are you sending them from that group to your lead magnet, now you're sending them into your sequence, your sales sequence. They're watching the teasers. They're watching the trailers. They're watching everything that you have to offer, because you want to build it. You want to get as much eyeballs into your sequence, into your system, to really get to build up that base. Because it's like I said, it's all about niches. You know where they are. You know what they want. And you're offering it to them in a place that you control, and it's an experience that you create for them, right? So all that leads towards your film viewing event. And we're going to go based on, just like I did with the last one, say it's a $12 video, a $12 experience. Because you determine your niche wants $12. You can go higher. You can give them you can give them an experience for $25. Maybe you test it at the market, is willing to pay $25. Maybe it's $5. It all depends on what's going on with your GFT test. But in this regard, we're going to say $12. Okay. So that event is $12, and you have a good launch. To say from that 30,000. You get somewhere around 12,000 of those people to really to book a seat at your viewing event. Maybe you're doing 5 events. You got 12,000. Maybe it's 3,000 seats for each. Or my math is crazy here, but so let's say your buyers, right? You get, of that 30,000, you get 12,000 buyers. So 12,000 buyers at $12. You're getting say $144,000. Now, that's good money. It's really good money. And it's all based on you putting up a timely sequence, giving people an experience that they can't find anywhere else, and watching a really good film. It's really niche based, that appeals to their interest, and it's not just about some mass appeal, bombs away, big superhero movie, but it has some depth to it. It has some talent, some creativity, and it's really artistic, and it's really a favorable experience for your audience. Something that the market doesn't really see too much, because everything's based on mass appeal. So anyway, you're able to get 12,000 buyers, right? I call it buyers, owners, things of that nature. 12,000 people to pay to experience that event with you. gets you up to all the way up to $144,000. What happens here is, if you're able to pull something off like this, which you will be, because there are plenty of people who are making even more money than this, you just have to really do it. You just have to execute it. You're starting to build an echo. People are talking about this experience. People are, salivating. This is a great thing. This is a great film. You got to watch it. You're building word of mouth. You're building all of this deal flow. So you're able to start getting licensing deals. With this echo, I like to call this is one of the beauty of doing a sales sequence like this and providing a digital theater experience is you're going to get word of mouth. You're going to get a lot of noise, a lot of people coming to you. Your star is going to get to the next level, which gives you licensing deals and you can sell your film out to to distributors and all these other places because you know how to make money with your film. You've already proven that this film works, that this thing sells. It's just a great experience. So the Hollywood launch sequence allows you to really turn your business up to the next level, to make really good money, up to 6 figures, even 7 figures. It just depends on your market. It just depends on, the niche that you have in the film and the quality of your film, and the appeal and interaction that any of the key members of your film has with the audience, whether that's a star actor, a producer that has a great audience. It just really helps you out. Now, the buyers list is one of the most important things that I want to talk about here. Now that you have 12,000 buyers, 12,000 people who are, who bought in your experience, who've shown you that they like what you have to offer, this is a lifetime asset. Now, you also have a prospect list, and these are people who, they've expressed some type of interest. The buyers list they've gone a step further. They've bought from you. They've shown you that they're a tribe, that they like they like what you have to offer. The buyers list represents long-term growth. You have the ability now to really give them more stuff, offer them more value going on in the future. So maybe that's another film, maybe that's directing them towards other places, but it's just a beautiful thing. The echo happens because once people are seeing that you have some place to go, that you have an experience that you have to offer, you will get word of mouth. You will get, deal flow. You will get opportunities to get new business in other places. So this is I'm always excited about talking about this stuff because it really is a life-changing thing. It really takes the film industry to the next level.
The Hollywood film launch is geared towards creating a unique and communal live streaming experience for audiences while also delivering you a 6-figure digital film launch for your movie. The marketing assets and momentum we build here will fuel your views on streaming platforms while also creating word of mouth buzz for your next potential launch, which could potentially grow to 7 figures or more. And that's the program that we like to call the Hollywood Network launch. Let's get deeper into it.
Now, what I really want to talk to you right now about is the Hollywood Network launch. Now, this launch won't be for everyone, but it's a good example of where you could go with your digital theater experience and the money that you could make by doing this. Now, it gets pretty technical, and you have to really prove yourself before you can get here. So I'll show you a little bit more about it. So here we go. I want to add some things. One of the important differences about the network launch is that you've already done a launch. You've already proven yourself, and what you're doing now is really you're going towards other people who have a connection, a relationship with your target market, and they're already established. So you want to go to them and let them. You want to go to them and share with them your business, their experience. They're going to give you their email list. They're going to give you an opening with their audience, and they're going to vouch for you. And what you're going to do in return is, give them a piece of the earnings. So how that works is, so let's say you go to you have 5. I call them joint venture partners, because they're joining you in this venture of this digital theater experience. And so let's say these joint ventures, all of them have somewhere around 100,000. They have these big, huge followings in the same target market. We'll go with the horror movie. So these people have they're big names in this horror genre, right? And they have access. They have these lists. They have this relationship with these big followings. So it's somewhere around like 100,000 for each one of them, right? Let's say you find 5 of them who really want to go ahead and partner with you, and they see your film, they see that you've done a good job, they see that you have prospects, they see the experience, and they say, "Hey, I think our audience would like your offer, would like your films, would like to view your film in that event." So what happens is they'll start sending they'll send their list towards your lead magnet, right? They'll send their list towards your offer to get them into your offer. And what happens is with the right software, each person that comes through their list and eventually buys from you will be siphoned off, and they'll get the commission. They'll get a piece of commission from what they earn from your work. From whatever their audience is paying for your film viewing, they'll get a piece of that. And let's say your film viewing event is a little bit more pricier because you know the quality of the event that you bring, right? So say this one's $20. So what will happen is now you're getting over somewhere around 500,000 views. 500,000 people are looking at your offer now. So that's why I said we're getting into the big leagues now. These people are saying to their audience, "There's this great movie. There's this great experience. We want you to see it. So just follow this link, and you take them through the process." So what happens is they'll send all of their audiences. Not only will they go through your list, now you're building up your list, your prospect list. So you're getting that much more people to jump onto your prospect list. You're also getting them to send their audience to each one of your offers separately, right? To each of the viewings. So you're just getting a ton of people looking at your event, understanding your offering, seeing what you have to offer, and being able to and really buying into your digital theater experience. And so let's get into the numbers here. Let's say you get, it's 5 times 100,000, right? Because 5 of these joint venture partners are sending, your offer to 100,000 of list. So you're getting 500,000 people just to look at the offer, to click that link, right? To see more about what you have to offer. And so of that 500,000, let's say only 20% of them will end up clicking the link, right? And again, these are hypothetical numbers. There's no guarantees here. Just giving you an example of how this can grow. Now, people are making money like this, and even more, doing this process. But again, this is all just hypothetical. I just want to show you where you can go with this, and there's a great opportunity to do a digital theater experience and make good money. So 20% of that 500,000, right? They click on. So now you're getting, what's that? 100%, 100,000 people. So now 100,000 people are just clicking the link to see the offer, right? And of that 100,000 people who are just clicking the link to seeing what you have to offer, 40% of them are converting. 40% of them are going onto your prospect list. 40% of them are saying, hey, this is interesting. What do you have to offer, right? And that's just to the first one. So 100,000, 40%, that's simple math. We go 40K, right? So that's 40,000 people are just looking at your first offer. Now, and that's the teaser. That's 40,000 people just looking at that teaser. You'll go ahead and you'll get more people just sending off. Now you're doing your trailer. You're going to get even more of those people. You're sending them to the link, and now you get. Now, of course, it's not going to be the same for each one. You're going to get your most enthusiastic followers are going to go to your first one. So maybe the second one, your trailer, you're probably going to get, let's say, 30,000 people to look at that one. And then to your third trailer, you'll get somewhere around 25,000 people to look at that trailer. And of that, of all of these people, they're signing on. Now you're building up your prospect list. Now you have a huge prospect list for whatever you want to do in the future. You have this huge audience now because all of these people are vouching for you. They're saying this is a great film. This is a great product. This is a great process. And you're doing it. You're sending out your stuff. The echo is going. You have all this word of mouth buzzing. All this success train that's going. And your prospect list is huge now. So now in the future, if you ever want to be a joint venture for other people who have interesting films for your audience, now you can make money on the side just like your joint ventures are making, right? But what's happening? You get of this group of all these people looking at your offer, you get 75,000. You get 75,000 of them to buy into your offer. $20. Of course, like I said, there's a lot of commissions, a lot of technical stuff that goes into it. People are getting commissions from your film. They're getting commissions, so you offer your event now is $20. They're gonna get a piece of that, right? But you're getting 75,000 people at $20 a film. That's $1.5 million. Of course, like I said, you're not going to get all of that, but imagine $1.5 million from something that you nowadays, there's not even a market for it. People aren't even doing things like this to make money. You're making $1.5 million. It's an awesome thing, and it's very possible. It just takes a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts. My team is able to do this for the right films, for the right groups, but you can also do this yourself. That's exactly why we're going through this, because I definitely want to show you. And any questions that you have, please feel free to leave them on the comment box, because I love to answer everything for you and show you how you can do this for yourself too. But this is, as you can see here, $1.5 million. Again, hypothetical, but very possible. You'll be able to make a lot of money. You'll be able to grow your buyers list. You'll be able to get an even bigger echo. That's 1.5 million. And that's not even saying a deal with Netflix or a deal with Amazon or a deal with any other licensor, or even taking it to the movie theaters. Maybe people want to see this experience in a big screen now because they loved it so much on watching it on a laptop, and now they want to see it, on a bigger screen. That's just more revenue. That's more money that you're able to make in different fronts, because you were able to execute and give people an experience that they couldn't find.
So now you've seen the 3 core strategies of the Hollyworld Film Launch Program. The purpose of these launches is to generate real buzz and revenue for your movie while giving audiences a new and unique experience. I like to call these 3 launches the Divine 3. I used to call it the Circle of Awesome, but the opportunity is still the same. It's huge.
We've gone through the process. I showed you how to do the GFT launch. I've showed you how to do the Hollyworld launch, and I've showed you how to do the network launch. And this is just to give you an idea of the opportunity that's laid out for you with the digital theater experience, the way to make money and to grow your business. So I just want to go a little bit in detail to see how you can use this to really move your filmmaking business to the next level, and not have to worry about the theatrical experience of doing movie theaters or just going straight VOD, and doing all of these other things that are just that are available now, but they're not taking you to the next level. So you start with the GFT, and just from the way I showed you, let's say you did it with you were able to do somewhere around 800 buyers, and you really found your target market. You've identified your teaser. You've identified how to make your teaser work, how to make your trailer work, how to make your experience work in a way that people really like and enjoy. And so now you know you're able to get to the next level. So you get 800 buyers, right? And they pay, and you found through your research, through the GFT research launch, that you're able to do, that people are willing to spend anywhere around $12 to watch your film and enjoy your experience. And from that, just from doing the research, you're able to make $9,600 from it, right? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Just for a test, you're getting paid for a test, and now you know for sure that you have a market. You know for sure that that your market likes what you're doing. Even just doing that right there, you can go ahead and sell that to a distributor for money. You can get licensing for that. You can take it to the next level and just use the information that you have to make yourself more valuable. But if you wanted to go further, you can also do that as well, and do the Hollyworld launch. And with the Hollyworld launch, let's, again, hypothetical. Let's say you're still selling your film for $12 because you know that's what works. You know that's your research has shown you this is what works. Now you have a market. You have you've built that echo, so people are you have word of mouth coming. You have buzz, so you're not a untried young buck in the game. Now you're doing something. You have something solidified, so you're able to make more money. You're able to reach out to more people. So this time you get 12,000 buyers, which is a really great job. You have a good film, and you're using this echo, using all this momentum, and you're able to do 144,000. So over 10 times, better than what you did with your GFT launch. And even now, you're that much more. You have that much more leverage when you want to sell your film for licensing. Where you want to, put your film out in different markets. Is that much more leverage because you come with a market. You come with a word of mouth. You have some proof. But if you wanted to take it to another level, you can. And that's where the network launch comes in. They know your market. You share your market with people. You share that you know what you're doing, and you have a good quality product that's going to add value to the marketplace. And so you find joint ventures that are willing to work with you and sharing the money with you. And this time, to appease, to give out good commissions, you sell this event, you do a bigger event. And this event now is $20. And you're able to get 75,000 people. 75,000 buyers. So now you have a huge amount of buyers now. You have a huge list that's preparing you for anything that you want to do in the future. You have a built-in market now. And on top of that, you've made $1.5 million. You also have partners that work with you. You're built into an ecosystem of just abundance and more work and more films and more creativity, and you're able to do original films. You don't have to go to other people and beg them and make their films for them. Now you can go ahead and make your own original stuff. You can make your own, career. That's for the network launch. And you can still sell that out to other venues. And you can even go to the movie theaters and, put your film and give people a different experience. There's so many opportunities. And so this is what I like to call the circle of awesome. Because it just keeps getting better, baby. Because even after you do this now with this film, now you have a built-in market. You can communicate with your market now. You can, make new films, similar genres. Or you can go into different avenues. But you are just built into a world of giving good experiences, creating great stories, making it about the story, not just about some, big mass appeal event, but it's all based on the niche appeal, and your niche appeal equals greatness. So all of this is going to be launch stacking. You're stacking your launches on top of each other. You're getting better and better, and it's really a circle of awesome. It's a circle of awesome. The opportunity is there. People are doing this every day in different markets all around the world. If you're familiar with Jeff Walker, he's the founder of Product Launch Formula, and he teaches pretty much this service, but he teaches it for a broad amount of people in a lot of different avenues. And what we do is we've specialized this into this market because no one does it this way. But I say all that to say that this everything that I've showed you here, it works extremely well. You just have to know the technicalities and be able to implement these things, and that's where I help you with. So I'm super excited about this. There's even more to show you, but for right now, launch stacking. It's a key to a different future, a future where you can create your future, you can create your film career, you can move it on to wherever you want to go, and you can live comfortably doing it.
This system is built for the long term. You're building a lasting relationship with your audience and learning what you can make for them in the future. So let's go deeper into the Hollyworld sales sequence, or the Hollyworld premiere strategy as I used to call it. This section here describes the magic of the entire process. So listen closely. Without further ado, let's go deeper into the Hollyworld premiere strategy, which is what I like to call it. Now, this strategy differs from the traditional film strategy mainly because of, just like I said in the last video, mainly because it's about niches. Not about mass appeal, but about niche appeals. So there's I can say there's even two differences here. Niche marketing, niche appeal, and experience, digital experience. The digital experience is unique from the theater experience. There's positives and negatives for both. But the digital experience definitely does allow you, and doing it this way, part of the strategy, a core part of the strategy is understanding that you're providing an experience. So let's go further. So just like in the theater strategy, you want to have the theater premiere strategy. You want to have a teaser, trailer, launch sequence, right? Teaser, trailer, launch sequence. What's the difference here is understanding your niche. That teaser is everything's gonna be a little more compact. As I was saying before with the larger launch, that's more of a 1 year, 6 months out ahead of time. This one, you can do this anywhere between two months to 1 month. You can go further, but I like to do it. It's more of an immediate thing because you're facing smaller audiences, and you know exactly where to find them. So you don't want to stretch it out as long. These days with all the competition for people's eyeballs, you want to make everything as convenient and as quick as possible. But not too quick. You understand? Quick as possible, but not too quick. Okay. So anyway, so that teaser that you're gonna put out, it's gonna come out anywhere between 2 to 3. I'd say a month, 2 months to a month before your launch, right? 2 months to a month. And in this time, what you're setting out, you're putting in your teaser. And part of this teaser, there's 2 ways to do it. There's a lot of ways to do it, but I like two specific ways. And so the first one is, with that teaser, you're just showing people what's the hook, what's the appeal about your film, right? So one way you can do that is by just showing, a clip, just giving a tease. It's a typical tease, setting up some intrigue, right? Getting your audience to be intrigued about, oh, this is interesting. What is this? What is, not putting too much out there that they know everything about the film before it even comes out, but just putting just enough to say, oh, this is interesting. Let me find out more. That's really what you want to do with that, right? So you're going to put that into these audiences, let them know, targeted sequences. You want to find where to put find the audiences, see where it appeals, but you want to put your film out there, build that buzz, initial buzz, right? The teaser is always good because it lets people know why. Why should I be interested in your film? Why should I even care, right? That's what the teaser is all about. The second one that you want to put out is a trailer. So like I said before, this is a more condensed strategy. So this one is within a month, right? You want to start focusing out that number one trailer. You want to push that out. You want to push it out, especially depending on how good of feedback or responses you got from your teaser trailer. You want to start pushing out your trailer number one. And this trailer, it talks about what this film is about, right? So you're gonna get a little bit longer into the film. Say 1 month in. So with the trailer number one, you always want to get a little bit more into about what this film is about. And you don't want to go any further than that. This is really about what is this film about, right? And you're pushing this towards these audiences that have already kind of gotten your teaser, or maybe who you feel through research you understand that these people will like this trailer, right? So that's what you do a month out before the premiere starts, right? And it's all about what this trailer is all about. What's it about? And you're informing people. You're informing your audience. Hey, we have a good film. We have something. We have a good experience. We have something that you're gonna be excited about, right? Now, trailer number two gets into more about the entertainment factor. Now this one's a little bit longer. Say 1 to 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, right? 1 to 2.5 minute trailer, and this one just really shows the people, give people a little bit more experience into what this film is. Maybe show a sequence in the film, show something that really gets people to understand. Oh, this is what it's going to be about. This is where it's headed towards. You still don't want to give too much, but you just want to give just enough to get people really, really excited and committed, right? And this trailer is always going to be the sequence with this one is you do this one 2 weeks in advance. 2 to 1 week in advance, right? And through part of this trailer, you're also letting people know when this film is going to premiere, where they can find it, things of that nature. All right. And the whole goal of this, the trailer number two is all about entertainment, right? You want to entertain. You want to show that this is a quality film. That your specific niche is going to like this film. Now, there's a lot of ways. Like I said before, there's 2 ways to do this. You can do this basically where you're just putting out pieces of your content in the traditional sense, whereas they're just seeing the film. Or you can put pieces of the content with an added bonus of maybe a producer or an actor or some key figure in the film that's talking about it, giving them a side glimpse of, hey, what's happening, why they like this film, things of that nature. Just giving a different perspective. A lot of times the studio strategy would be giving out interviews, giving out press releases, things of that nature, right? But you can do a little bit different with the digital strategy by having key members talk about a hook, talk about what they like about the film. Start putting words out. I'm giving you just different viewpoints of the film, right? So you can do that along with the content, with the pieces of the film, or you can just do that with, having the lead actor or the director speak about, or the screenwriter, even, because audiences now, because this is all based on your audience. Audiences these days, especially with niche audiences, you might find people who are more interested in the plot, more interested in the story. They don't really care about maybe what big name actor that's in the film. They just really care that this is a great story, or this is a great concept, or this is a world that they want to dive into and get to know more about. So you can do that. So it doesn't have to be content. It doesn't have to be film focused. You can show parts of with the film, but you also show an experience that somebody's talking about it, right? So you can do that with the teaser. You can do that with the trailers, all throughout, where you can put either a content focus, or you can put a combination of content and characters, or content and key members that are giving insight about this film, why they like the film, what to expect, and you can still go through that why, what, how strategy with that content release. As I said, my team, we help you go ahead and specify how to go ahead and build your unique strategy to launch your film. But you can also do this yourself. You know your film, you know what your audience wants. So if you're, just with the information that I'm giving you here, you can go ahead and take this and use it to launch your film, right? So yeah, so everything that we're doing is building up towards that main experience, hey, they saw why this film is interesting, what's the hook about it. They saw with trailer number 1 what this film is about. It's more informative, right? And then you go into trailer number 2, which is more about, this is 2 weeks in, this is about how, is this film any good? People now want to see what's the meat of it. Okay, I'm curious now. I got a little bit more into it, now. Is it good? Is it entertaining? Is it quality? Am I going to get into this? You still don't want to give too much. You never want to give too much, but you still want to give enough, right? And so the last part, the key part, is that digital theater premiere experience, right? So this experience tends to be, as I said before, you can do it 2 ways, where you can just do it strictly. You get people to come in. It's limited seatings. Let's say 5,000 limit. Maybe you only do within I really like 5 to 7 day window, right? Scarcity is very important here. It gives people the urge to go ahead and want to join and be a part of it. I'm going to go through 6 key, I would say, here it is. I'll say there's 6 key mental triggers that you can use throughout this strategy that really builds authority and really gets people hooked on to wanting to enjoy this experience, because everything that you're doing here is building up towards your digital theater experience, right? And this digital theater experience is the launch that sets up everything. Maybe the buzz that you build from this sets you up to get you a Netflix deal, or get you a licensing deal somewhere, or get you a deal with putting your film out in an airplane, or just all different places. But this is that, just like a theater, just like a traditional theater is that starting point, that premiere, that launch that puts you into all these other places. This digital theater, everything you're doing here is to build up towards getting this experience, getting this buzz, getting this word of mouth that people are going to enjoy, people are going to love, and they're going to talk about and want to see your film through other different places, through Apple, through iTunes, through all these other places, right? So you really want to build up a lot of buzz, and you want to make it into a short window. A short window, 5 to 7 days, I think is the best, because you'll get a lot of people to go ahead and sit down and watch that film with you, with a key figure, with a key member, or just watching it based on the research that you understand of what your audience wants, to see what they'll respond to most in that digital theater premiere. And again, I have a service. My team will provide the technical details. We'll give you the platform. We'll help you to make that experience go. But the digital theater experience is a live viewing with a key member or not. Open 5 to 7 days, maybe more, maybe less, where people get to watch your film, they get to experience your film, they get to escape with your film. All right, so that was a lot to take in. So feel free to rewind it as much as you need. Now, I want to talk to you about the sales part of this strategy, because we're definitely selling your audience during this entire process. It's called the open cart sequence. So listen closely. So the phase I want to emphasize now is really about the digital theater event. Now, this is what I recommend is a 5 to 7 day window, something that's in a small time frame. This helps with the uniqueness you want to. There's a lot of pirates. There's a lot of different things that you. The longer that you keep open your event window, the more you're inviting piracy, and you're inviting a lack of scarcity, which makes it not as important. And so it's like you're taking away the urgency from it, and urgency is a very important trait when you want to sell your film and sell your event. So I definitely recommend a 5 to 7 day window. You can do it longer, you can do it shorter. It's really up to you. You can make a lot of you can really based on this time frame, you can understand how many seats you want to sell for each one, because a lot of the platforms offer some anywhere around 500 to 5,000 seats. Depends on which software that you're using. What our platforms, we tend to go for a maximum of 5,000 seats, but you can go anywhere from 100 to 5,000, even more. Just really depends on your market. But 5 to 7 days really helps it, and I do recommend somewhere around, depending on the team that you're with, and availability of your actors or your writers or any of the key people in the film, that can really help you decide on your events. If you want to do these live events with a producer, the writer, the director, one day, just key people, that helps you understand. Maybe you want to do 2 live events a day, 1 live event a day. That's up to you. You get to really, how can I say, that's where the creativity comes. You can really control and create that offer. But the 5 to 7 day window is extremely important because it keeps it exclusive. Exclusivity is the thing that's really going to sell everything. Exclusivity and community. This is part of the mental triggers that I was speaking about in the first video, and I think it's very important right now, especially now. So we go a little bit further into the digital theater sequence, and what's happening is you've already told people what to expect, right? As I told you about in the making the sell part, you're telling people what to expect. You're telling them how it's going to be and who's going to be there, and within that 5 to 7 day sequence. So what you want to do, this is the time where you really get to bombard your audience. You really get to hit them and let them know, okay, hey, it's time. We have something available. You can buy your tickets now, get your tickets now. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale. You've given them so much insight into your film. You've given them so much insight into your process. You've given them so much value up front that the law of reciprocity, they're going to be more willing. They're going to be more open towards whatever you have to offer. So this is the time that you make that offer, right? And so I definitely recommend on these days, say it's a 5 day window. The example I have here is a 5 day window. You can do a 5 to 7 day as I was speaking about. But on day 1, what you want to do is you're sending an email. The digital theater, our digital theater event is open now, right? It's open. So you want to let people know that it's time to go. You want to send ads to certain audiences. Maybe they're not checking their emails, so you also want to send ads to them. Get as much awareness about your offering as possible. You want to fill those seats up. You also want to send out a case study. So maybe this case study is some footage from or responses from audiences member, people who've experienced the film through that digital theater sequence, and you're giving out feedback and letting them know this is what people are saying about the event or the movie, right? And then you also want to let them know, you also want to send out emails about the live event. So you want to touch people each day. That's why it's really good to have it within a condensed sequence, because you're going to be giving out a lot of emails, a lot of notifications, posts, just hitting out that market, hitting out your niche, and letting them know what's going on. On day 2, again, you're sending that email out. You're sending an ad. You're doing your live event. You're telling them, you know, with this email, you're telling them who's going to be on the on the event this day, who's going to, you know, what's going to happen, the case studies about, you know, giving examples about how people are enjoying the experience, why it's so good. You know, just giving people out, you know, the concept. I call day 3 and 4, your middle part of the series. These are content days. You want to give out more content. You want to do some bonuses. Maybe come in and jump in and do a special event just talking about the experience, how you enjoy it so far. Get interviews with other people. Just get people into it. So people who are curious, you know, this one's a free event. This is just a live event, you know, just talking about stuff. You want to add certain things, because what you find is that there's a kind of a lag. Your first 2 days, you're going to get really a lot of the people who really enjoy the film, who really are enthusiastic about the story, and they're going to jump in. They're emotional buyers, right? Towards the middle, you're going to see people there's going to be a little bit of a lag. You know, just there's no urgency as much. That's just the emotions. That's how the crowd is going. At least that's from what we're seeing right now. So that's why you want to add in on those days. Do an email, an ad. You want to do the live event. You want to do maybe an FAQ. Maybe there's some objections that you're hearing from people. So you want to jump on board. Maybe do a quick post and talk about certain objections. What's you know what they're getting from their experience, what they're not going to get. You know, things of that nature, and why it's so good of an experience, right? And so then we come towards day 5. So the 2 days that you're going to get the most sales typically is the first day and the last day. So it kind of goes like a W shape, right? So you see the sales, they're up. They start to go down in the middle. But like I said, you do these events, you do this maybe at these special live interviews and live events, the free events, and just get word in. You'll get a bump. Then it goes down again. And towards that last day, why I say it's super important to have a deadline, to make an exclusive window, is that's when people are going to buy. The people who are waiting out and seeing what other people are doing and seeing the response, that's when they're going to buy, right? So it's kind of going to be like a W type of trend here, especially if you do this right. A lot of people mess this part up, but this is also a part where you can make the most. This is where you make money too. You know, so you want to be able to time these posts. You want to be able to put out certain things on certain days, and this is the time that don't be nice, don't be shy, don't be modest. Push out, connect to your audience. That's where you're. It's important to go to a niche, because you know what your niche wants. You've done the research, you've done the work, you know why your audience likes your film. So now you want to go ahead and push it out there, because it's only 5 to 7 days that you want to get all of these sales before you send it out to other places, right? So a lot of the content that you can add on to this during on these emails, you can do FAQs on the emails, maybe talking to people more about what's happening, answering questions and answering, you know, a lot of things that people are talking about that they haven't been able to ask. Maybe not everyone is able to see the questions that other people are asking, but they're thinking of the same. So you want to send emails out and answer these questions for them, answer their objections, right? You want to do audience responses. You want to show like physical, have other people, you know, have other people vouch for you. Have other people talk about why they love the experience so much. You want to add behind the scenes footage, you know, part of some extra movie clips, or maybe even talk with key characters in the movie about what they like. But everything you're doing in this sequence is really just focused on, now it's time to sell, and this is what the offer is. You want to be very clear about what you're offering, and don't be shy about sending it out to this audience, because if they've gotten this far into your sequence and they're opening up your messages, it's because they want to hear from you. So you make the sell here. This is where everything changes. This is where you become the master of your business. Our focus as your launch partner is to get your movie views, and sales. We're here to position you and your movie as the go-to filmmaker in your space. By creating and executing digital film launches, we're automatically setting up mental triggers in your audience's mind of you being the authority in your space. So let's go a little bit deeper into the mental triggers that digital film launches creates in your audience's mind. So the digital theater experience is very similar to the theatrical theater experience and very different. Now, the similarity is, just as I've said in previous videos, the similarity is basically it's limited seatings, it's a live event, it's communal, things of that nature. Now, the difference is what I really want to go into here. See, when you're doing things digitally, you want to appeal to people in a different way. You want to appeal to people, you want to connect to people more authentically. It's not as superficial, it's not as impersonal as a movie theater or the movie theater experience, because with the new world how it is, we are more knowledgeable now. The audiences are more knowledgeable, crowds are more knowledgeable, and they want to be spoken to authentically, right? And so you want to be able to place that into your marketing from the beginning all the way to the end. This is a part of that experience that you're giving people that they can't find anywhere else. And what I found is there's a lot of mental triggers that allows you to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. But I want to break it down to 6 key ones that I think will really helps you stand out in your marketing, stands out in your experience, that sets you apart, and it gets people really excited about watching your film and engaging with you. Again, if you learn all of this, well, I can't even say again, but learning all of this, understanding all of this, and understanding that experience is the key here. And all of the marketing and all of everything that we're doing, we're giving an experience. We're allowing people to connect in new ways, in creative ways, right? And you're setting yourself apart. The better that you can do this, the better that you can connect to your audiences, the more films that you can give them in the future. You don't have to worry about different places to put people, or you know that you can create content. You can create films that are true to your vision, that are not watered down by executives and other people who don't have any say into your vision, and that they can connect directly with audiences, right? So one of the first mental triggers that doing the sequence, that's kind of the way I showed you. One of the first things that happens is you're building authority. You don't have to, nobody even known you before, but just from the very fact of you putting out a trailer, putting out a teaser, and interjecting yourself in it. Maybe if it's you or it's an actor or anyone else, you're just putting yourself out there that, hey, I'm someone who's standing out in the crowd. I'm someone who has an experience that I'm offering you. That sets authority, right? And I would say that's one of the top mental triggers that you're providing by following that sequence, the Hollywood premiere sequence, all right? Because you're setting yourself up and you're connecting directly with the audience. Now, number 2, the next mental trigger that I think is very important is community. See, now as you're putting out these trailers and you're putting out these teasers, you're building a community. You're building, you're getting people to like, to comment, to share. You're building out a community. You're building out a circle of like-minded people. Because as I said before, niche appeal, not mass appeal. That's the future of where we're going. Niche appeal. And you're bringing together like-minded people to talk and discuss things and enjoy things. You're setting yourself up. And as you'll see, all of these things work. All of these triggers, they work together to make a bigger whole, right? So, authority, community. Now, what you're also doing is building anticipation.
as I said, you put out a teaser. You don't put everything in there. It's a tease. You put out a trailer. You show a little bit about what the film is. You're not doing it. You're not putting everything in there. You're putting enough. And you're building consistency. You're building anticipation. This brings value. Anticipation always brings value because people want to know. Right? So the next thing that you're doing is building reciprocity. Now, you're building reciprocity by sharing. You're sharing this experience. You're sharing, with the teaser, like I said before, as you're putting out a teaser, you can do it in two ways. You can put just content base, or you can put content and you can mix it with a key member. And that builds reciprocity because you're just giving people things, you're explaining your experience and why this film is so good or why you like it or the process. And that just builds reciprocity because people are going to give people your value, they're going to give you attention. They're going to give you dollars. All right? It's a reciprocity thing. Now, another thing that's happening is you're building social proof. Now, as you're following this sequence and you're putting things out there and you're communicating and you're building authority and you're building this community, you're also building social proof. People are seeing, okay, this thing is legit, this thing is good, or this is solid. I want to see this, I want to enjoy this experience, right? Social proof is very important in this day and age because, and I'm going to show you a little bit more as we go in the future because this sequence builds into a launch strategy that allows you can do this in so many ways and build money. You can make a lot of money doing this. Social proof is very key to helping you make even more money down the line, right? So we'll get to that in the next video that I have for you. But right now, just understand that everything that you're building here allows you to build real business, real money. You can make really good money. It might not be movie theater money right now, but the better you get, you can make really good movie theater money. So social proof comes in because you're building out a sequence, you're building out an experience that people enjoy. Now, the last thing, the key thing, what I mentioned before was your live viewing experience, that digital theater experience. It has to be in a short window of time. Now with movie theaters, like I said before, around 70% of all the money that they're going to make in a movie from movie premiere happens within the first 3 weeks. Within the first 3 weeks, right? So here in the digital experience, because it's a niche base and it's a little bit smaller audiences, you want to give a scarce window. You want to give people an incentive to go ahead and watch that film. So scarcity is the last mental trigger. Now, order of importance is not here. All of these things have a lot of importance. Scarcity is very important. Now, I forgot how to spell scarcity because I'm just going away. But anyway, scarcity is key. It raises the dollar amount of your sales tremendously because it gives people an incentive that they need to go ahead and they want to be a part of this. They know that it's only going to happen for, this window, this digital theater experience is a limited time thing. After that, they're gonna have to. They can find your film. They can find it in different venues, different places, but they won't enjoy that same experience that they got. And scarcity is the one that moves them forward. All right. So just to recap, these are the mental triggers. There's 6 mental triggers. There's a lot more, but there's 6 main mental triggers that happen as you're putting out your Hollywood premiere strategy out there into the market and giving people a new way to interact with your authentic film, your original film, your good film, everything. So, authority, community, anticipation, reciprocity, social proof, and scarcity will help you go a long way towards building an experience that allows you to build for years and years to come. So, hope you enjoy.
There you have it. If you stayed to the end, I'd really love to talk with you. This is the blueprint to launching a 6, 7, or even 8-figure movie. My team and I are here to help you see it all the way through. Now, if you believe that we would be a good fit for each other, book a free 20-minute meeting with me to discuss your film and its potential. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you.